1. Defying limits. Andrew Austen's journey as a top adaptive golfer. 2. Local golfer Jason Hasty competes in USGA Adaptive Open. 3. One-armed Marine vet conquers golf. Nick Kimmel's inspiring journey to the 2025 U.S. Adaptive Open. 4. Jacob Huber's inspiring journey to the U.S. Adaptive Open. 1. Defying limits. Andrew Austen's journey as a top adaptive golfer. Born without part of his right arm, golfer Andrew Austen looks to inspire other athletes with disabilities. If you told Andrew Austen that he couldn't do something, he would try to prove you wrong. Growing up, the Radnor native loved playing sports. It's what bonded him and his 4 siblings and propelled his competitive edge. He also excelled in them. From soccer to basketball to baseball to golf, he was a natural athlete. But Austen had to work hard, too. The 27-year-old was born without his right forearm and hand. It challenged him as an athlete, although he never viewed it as a disadvantage, more of an opportunity to prove people wrong. It gave me this chip on my shoulder, Austen said. It's why I have such a love and passion for sports. It really goes for everything in life. The idea of showing somebody out there who has maybe 4 limbs that just because you don't, that doesn't mean you can't do everything that everyone else can. Austen is proud of who he is, and over the last few years, he's been using his story as a way to empower other athletes with disabilities, and golf has been his platform to do it. After graduating from the College of Charleston in 2020 with a degree in business administration, Austen got back into golf, a sport he dabbled in growing up. His parents were members at St. David's Golf Club in Wayne. https://www.enquirer.com/topic/Wayne. He started to devote more time to it, and it has led him to become the 8th-ranked adaptive golfer in the nation in the G5 classification. https://www.usaga.org/USAGR-rankings. On Monday, he'll compete in the 4th annual U.S. Adaptive Open, which showcases the world's best golfers with disabilities, at Woodmont Country Club in Rockville, Maryland. I've kind of heard amazing things about this tournament, said Austen, who now golfs at City of Charleston Municipal Golf Course in South Carolina, where he resides and works as a coaching community manager for the Ideal Life coaching platform. I know it's the holy grail for adaptive golfers. I'm excited, and I'm ready to compete with the best ones out there. This is Austen's first time qualifying for the event. He has done 10 other adaptive tournaments, and while it's competitive, Austen said, the best part of participating in these events is meeting new people to connect with on a different level. It also has helped him find comfort in his own skin. I think these last 16 months, I've really found myself living into my purpose, Austen said. For me, my purpose is my passion to inspire. I think it's doing these things, like competitions, Instagram, and TikTok content to show people that anything's possible. I think if I can use my platform and help one person out there, I'm doing my part. Read more. Joanna co-balances the majors and motherhood. Next up, the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. https://www.enquirer.com/sports/joanna-code-marion-golf-club-ardmore-kpmg-women's-pga-championship-202506-18.8.html. In 2020, Austen started posting golf videos on social media and they took off. His videos range from him driving to playing a hole to putting on his prosthetic. His Instagram has more than 13,700 followers, while his TikTok is up to 18,500. He also goes by the handle name Jimothykiad, a nickname that started in college, and he referred to it as his social media alter ego. I would say bringing awareness was the easy part, Austen said. Then as I become more engaged and involved with the adaptive community and hearing different stories, it's so cool to see how everybody makes light of such traumatic stories. I think it's allowed me to lean into that a little bit. As you grow up and have people that are close to you, friends, family, who know you, it's almost like they forget you have one arm, and the jokes are always there. To me, the only way to live through it is just to joke about it, like it doesn't have to be this serious thing. Austen has felt the stares before, whether it was when he was in school or at social events, and they have not gone away. However, he never feels out of place. He credits his parents for instilling that image of him at a young age. My parents had told me, when they learned that I was going to be born the way I was, the doctor told them, "Hey, if you don't have a problem with it, he won't have a problem with it, either," said Austen, whose mother, Mary Stengel Austen, is on the Inquirer's board of directors. That's kind of how they raised me, not that they ignored it, but they made me feel like I wasn't different than anyone else. I think that's something that's really important to who I am still to this day. 2. Local golfer Jason Hasty competes in USGA Adaptive Open. Imagine defying the odds on every single swing. That's exactly what Chesterfield County's own Jason Hasty intends to do when he tees it up at the US Adaptive Open in Rockville, Maryland, starting Monday. Hasty is one of just 96 athletes from around the world. Yes, the entire globe, who earned the right to compete in the United States Golf Association's premier championship for players with disabilities. Currently ranked inside the nation's top 5 adaptive golfers, he was born with a congenital difference that stopped the fingers on his left hand from forming beyond the knuckles. Rather than giving up on a game that demands precision grip and timing, he rebuilt his swing, refined his balance, and turned a perceived disadvantage into a unique competitive edge. Here's what makes his story even more compelling. Hasty stands as the only qualifier from Central Virginia and one of merely 2 representatives of the entire Commonwealth in this elite field. For local sports fans, that's a rare badge of honor. The venue adds another layer of excitement. Because Rockville is only a short drive from Chesterfield, family members who have followed Hasty's journey from neighborhood practice greens to national leaderboards will, for the first time, watch him compete in person. This will be the first time my daughters see me play a serious tournament, and the first time my parents witness me inside the ropes, he explained, admitting that the moment is charged with emotion. But here's where it gets controversial. Adaptive golf often flies under the radar of mainstream sports coverage, even though its competitors post scores most weekend golfers only dream of. Shouldn't these championships receive the same primetime spotlight as the US Open or the Masters? And if media outlets overlook these athletes, are we unintentionally reinforcing outdated notions about who deserves to be called a professional? The US Adaptive Open itself is still new. It debuted in 2022. Yet it already showcases multiple disability classes, from limb differences and neurological conditions to visual impairments. Each player tees off from yardages calibrated to create fair competition, illustrating how the sport innovates around inclusivity without diluting its challenge. And this is the part most people miss. The equipment rules and handicapping systems used in adaptive events often trickle down to benefit junior golf, senior golf, and rehabilitation programs for wounded veterans. In other words, when adaptive golf advances, the entire sport moves forward. Your turn. Do you believe adaptive athletes like Jason Hasty get the recognition they deserve? Should television networks broadcast these events in prime time? Or does the current level of coverage feel adequate? Sound off, agree, disagree, or offer a fresh angle? Let's hear your take. 3. One-armed Marine vet conquers golf. Nick Kimmel's inspiring journey to the 2025 US Adaptive Open. Imagine losing the very limbs that once held your favorite sport. How could you ever return to the green? That's the story of Nick Kimmel, a Marine Corps veteran who, after a devastating injury, found his way back to golf. But here's where it gets truly inspiring. He's now heading to the 2025 US Adaptive Open, ready to showcase his remarkable comeback. ABC 10 News reporter Tali Letoy recently sat down with Nick to talk about his incredible journey. Vista, California resident Nick Kimmel is a testament to the power of passion, perseverance, and patience. Despite losing his left arm and both legs in 2011 while serving in Afghanistan, he's managed to transform his life and rediscover his love for golf. Kimmel fondly recalls starting golf at a young age, around 5 or 6 years old. By the time he was injured, he was already a skilled golfer, nearly reaching scratch level. However, the explosion that took his limbs also took his desire to play. For some time, golf was simply too painful to consider. But life has a way of surprising us. Years after the accident, Kimmel decided to give golf another chance. He adapted his swing to use just one arm, and gradually, he found himself competing at a high level. His next big step is the 2025 US Adaptive Open, scheduled from July 7th to 9th on the East Coast, where he'll join other elite athletes with disabilities. It's incredible to see the human spirit at work at these events, Kimmel shared. Everyone is there to compete and prove that we can still be relevant and strong. For Kimmel, golf is more than just a sport. It's a symbol of hope and resilience. He believes that by pushing forward, he can inspire others to do the same. I always look ahead, he said. When you focus on the future, good things happen, and hard work definitely pays off. And this is the part most people miss. Kimmel's story isn't just about overcoming physical challenges. It's about mental fortitude and the unwavering belief that one can find their place again, no matter what life throws at them. So what do you think? Can you imagine picking up a sport again after such a significant loss? How do you think Kimmel's journey might inspire others facing similar obstacles? 4. Jacob Huber's inspiring journey to the U.S. Adaptive Open. A hole in the heart. St. Mary's graduate makes history at U.S. Adaptive Open. Bismarck, North Dakota, KFYR. Jacob Huber's name has been etched into local sports history, but it's his journey through adversity that truly captures attention. For years, he spent his afternoons glued to Century hockey highlights during high school, chasing the thrill of the game. But as time passed, his passion shifted toward the greens. Now, he spends hours on the golf course, earning a spot in this year's U.S. Adaptive Open, a tournament where players like him challenge the boundaries of ability. For Huber, every hole is a lesson in resilience. In golf, you can have a terrible shot and find yourself on hole 4, he says. There's still a lot of holes left, and you have to work with what's available. His philosophy mirrors his life. After a devastating accident 6 years ago, he didn't let the pain define him. Instead, he embraced the opportunity to rebuild. That accident, accidentally knocking out his left arm and leg, left him with a dual amputation. I remember crawling to a nearby home, breaking into the front door, and pleading for help, he recalls. It wasn't just a setback, it was a wake-up call. Yet, Huber's determination isn't just about survival. It's about redefining what's possible. I'm definitely better than I was before my accident, he insists. The experience reshaped his worldview, leading him to reconnect with golf. A few friends helped steer him back, and they even brought their own clubs, left-handed for one, right-handed for the other. We're going to the golf dome. We're going to figure this out, they said. We're both left-handed, so we brought a lefty set. Grant brought a righty set. We're going to hammer this out today, they joked. I swung right that day, so I just decided to stick with that. The U.S. Adaptive Open will feature 95 competitors from 10 countries, with Huber being the only North Dakotan in the field. His story isn't just about triumph, it's about the quiet power of perseverance. As he prepares to face off against the best, he reflects on how the accident forced him to confront his limits. There's a whole world out there that I never knew existed until I was thrust into it, he says. Golf and adversity often go hand in hand, but sometimes it's the unexpected that brings you back to the game. And here's where it gets controversial. While many see Huber's victory as a testament to grit, others argue that adaptive sports are meant to foster inclusivity, not individual glory. Is this about proving you can win, or is it about giving everyone a chance to play? A friend asked. Meanwhile, Huber's journey raises questions about the role of luck and opportunity in success. Will his story inspire others, or will it become a cautionary tale? The answer, he admits, lies in the next hole.